Hi everybody, it's Renee. Welcome back to my spare bedroom. We're going to do some more stretching for pelvic pain. So if you saw my other video, I've done another video that is wall stretches for pelvic pain. Wall stretches require you get down to the floor. Some people, that's not a good idea. So the nice thing about these stretches compared to the wall stretches is that you don't have to get down to the floor. They're done on the edge of a bed or a couch. So you will need some sort of a surface to lay on. You'll also need a strap. So if you have a yoga strap, that's great. I don't have a yoga strap, so this is a belt. I've just threaded one end of the belt through the clasp so that I have a loop to hook my foot in. So you do need a fairly long piece of material, a belt, a scarf, a yoga strap. So again, these stretches are for patients with pelvic pain. That might look like pelvic pain during intercourse with prolonged sitting or standing. It might look like low back pain or hip pain instead. Again, a lot of times with these conditions, pelvic floor muscle dysfunction comes along. That's why these stretches are also good for people with urinary symptoms like urinary frequency, urgency, or incontinence, or bowel issues such as constipation or urgency or frequency. So if you've got pain, urinary symptoms, or bowel symptoms, these stretches might be good for you. I'll be doing each round twice, one for the right leg, one for the left leg. So you'll get a chance to see them. If anything looks a little confusing, you might see it better from the other angle. So come along with me to my little twin bed. All right, so we need to be right at the edge of the bed. I'm going to start facing away from you. So you need to be fairly close to the edge of the bed. So you're right up to the edge. We're going to start with the leg that's close to the edge of the bed. So hook your leg into that strap and bring it as close as you can to your body until that knee starts to bend. If I have to bend it to bring it close, that's too far. So back out until you can have a straight leg. And we'll hold all of our stretches for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Remember that most people take about 18 to 22 breaths a minute. So 30 seconds would be 10 breaths. 2 minutes, about 40 breaths. So take between 10 and 40 breaths. You can set a timer, you can play music, whatever you want, but you need a fair amount of time in this position to get a good stretch. This is for the hamstring and the calf, the back side of the leg. I like to add on a nerve glide. So from here, I like to point the ankle and flex the foot. Do that about 10 times. This is a glide for the nerves that run from your low back all the way down to the foot through the leg. Pulling the foot back does make the stretch more intense. So keep it comfortable, and again, try not to bend the knee. If you have to bend the knee to flex the foot, you're too far. Good. Then we'll do an inner thigh stretch, the adductors of the hip. You might have to anchor your other arm at the edge of the surface so that you don't roll off the bed here. You go as far as you comfortably can until you feel a stretch at the inner thigh. It might be the inner thigh or groin. Again, this is a 30-second stretch. Try to keep your opposite hip down. If you start to roll, I could go all day, but my other hip is up in the air. So keep that other hip down on the bed as you stretch. I also like to add in the point and flex. About 10 times, gliding the nerves through all the tissue between the low back and the foot. Bringing that leg back to center. Switching hands in the strap, keep that hip on the edge of the bed down and take the leg across the body the other way. This one is tight for most people. It's that outer hip tissue, the IT band. Remember, that'll go even past the knee, so you might feel it down in the lower leg. You might feel it up at the hip. Hold this stretch for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Remember, that's about 10 breaths is 30 seconds, 40 breaths, about 2 minutes. Set a timer on your phone, listen to a song, whatever you need to do to pass the time. This one can be uncomfortable. Remember, no stretch needs to be painful. Don't press through pain. If it doesn't feel right, back out of it. Maybe it's too intense for you. I like to add on the nerve glide in this position as well. So flexing the foot, pointing the foot. Again, flexing the foot makes it more intense. For me, it's especially more intense down in the calf. Good. Bring that leg back to center. Bend your knee and bring that foot inside the body. So you're externally rotating your hip. You might recognize this stretch. Sometimes people do a ankle on the knee stretch. It's similar. You have the strap. Just use the strap. Bring that leg as close as you can to the body. The stretch is out here in this outer hip. Remember, you can use your breath to get rid of muscle tension. So if this is a tight area for you, again, don't push through pain. If it's tense or tight, take some deep breaths. On your exhale, think about letting go of any muscle tension you can. Let your body let go of the tension. Don't force it to let go of the tension. Back to neutral. Again, bending the knees, switching hands on the strap. Let this leg come off the edge of the bed. That's why you're close to the edge. You could just pull this leg straight back. That would be a stretch for the quad, the front side of your thigh. You can just let this leg hang here. Pull this leg back as far as you comfortably can. Oh, here comes Kiki. We take naps on this bed sometimes, so she's probably pretty excited. Thinks we're gonna take a nap. After about 30 seconds in this quad stretch for the front side of your thigh, you can also do an internal rotation. So you take that strap and move it out to the side. You might get a better view of this when I change to the other side. But you can see that my arm is away, my foot is away, my knee is turned in towards the bed. This is internal rotation of the hip. Again, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Using your breath to let go of any muscle tension. How about one more breath? Good. One more stretch here in this position. Bring your leg back to the bed. We're going to put both feet in this loop of the strap. This is a butterfly stretch with some assistance. So you can't see my feet right now, but the straps are on both feet. I'm going to use the strap to pull my heels closer to my pelvis, closer to my hips. So this just gives me a little assistance in this butterfly stretch. You'll see it better when I change positions. Same idea here, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. I love the butterfly stretch. I would spend 2 minutes here if you have the time. It's a lovely inner thigh stretch. We'll take a few more breaths here. Using your breath to let go of any muscle tension you can find. Not forcing the muscle to let go of tension, but letting the muscles let go of tension. One more breath. Good. Let go of that pressure on the strap. Bring the legs back to midline. Let your feet out of the strap. We're going to do the same stretches for the opposite side. So for that, I'm going to stay on this side of the bed. I'm going to change the direction I'm laying. So again, strap goes on the foot, that's on the edge of the bed. Straight leg, bring that foot up until you can feel a stretch on the back side of the thigh. If you bring it so far that your knee bends, you've gone too far. Back up, straight leg. Hold this stretch for about 30 seconds to 2 minutes. I'm a broken record so that you remember, 30 seconds is about 10 breaths. 2 minutes is about 40 breaths. Tiger's coming to say hello. Oh, good. Buddy, I'm taping. You've got to move. Okay. Taking this leg out to the side, you're probably going to have to anchor. Tiger, stay up here. You're going to have to anchor. Tiger won't let me, of course. Thanks, buddy. Taking that leg out to the side, keep the knees straight. This is an inner thigh or groin stretch. Remember to keep that hip down. If I let my body roll, this isn't a stretch anymore. So try to keep this hip on the bed. Stay back, bud. Please forgive my hats. We take naps on this little bed, so they think it's cuddle time. Point and flex that foot. This is out of control. We're moving on to the outer thigh stretch. Hansi, you're blocking the camera. Come up here. Okay. So we've got Hansi here. He also wants to cuddle. Take this leg across the body. This is for the outer thigh. Remember that IT band goes from your hip, past the knee, down to the calf. Flexing the foot will make it more intense, but I do want to add in that ankle pump. Point and flex the foot. Remember, just moving your toes here is not enough. You have to flex and point to get that nerve glide. Good. Bringing that leg back to neutral. Bend the knee, switch hands on the strap, and get that external rotation of the hip. Remember, this is like that figure 4 stretch, or piriformis. The stretch is happening out here in the hip. We're just using the stretch to give us a little leverage here. This is where I want you to feel the stretch, that hip that's closest to the bed. And then bringing it back to neutral. Let that same leg off the bed. We'll do a quad stretch. So again, that's just a neutral leg with that heel pulled back. The stretch is in the quad, the front side of the thigh. I have to keep a hand on Hansi at all times, or he's going to get right in the way of the camera. Come here, buddy. Come here. Thank you. I hope you're appreciating the cat comedy. If you want to add on that rotation, take that arm away from you. My knee is turned in towards the bed. My foot is away from the bed. So hopefully you can see a little better in this position that my knee is turned in. Hansi, don't take a bath right now. Please. Again, about 30 seconds to 2 minutes. When you're ready, bring that leg back to midline. Hook both feet in the loop of the strap. Butterfly stretch with assistance. Straps around both feet. Use the strap to pull the heels as close as you can to the hips. Spending 30 seconds to 2 minutes here. This is a nice way to get a little leverage in the butterfly stretch. I really appreciate this strap in this butterfly stretch. It just lets me really work on getting a little closer. You can spend 30 seconds to 2 minutes. You can just settle in, take a nap with your cats, which is what my cats think I'm trying to do. And with that, those are my strap stretches for pelvic pain, hip pain, low back pain, pelvic floor muscle dysfunction, pain during intercourse, urinary symptoms, and bowel symptoms. Thank you very much. I hope that was helpful. If you need any modifications, let your therapist know. If you need to borrow any cats, I've got some for you. So thank you and take care.